Our top story, tensions continue in Hyderabad as protests continue across the city after suspended BJP MLA Raja Singh was granted bail. Remember, Raja Singh is currently right at the centre of controversy for comments that he made that were considered deeply derogatory to Prophet Muhammad and the Muslim community in Hyderabad and across the country. Yesterday, police in the Shalibanda area in particular detained protesters after there was pelting of stones late in the evening. Chief Minister of the state, KCR, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, he held a high-level meeting yesterday. He's instructed police officials to take strict action against those who are threatening the law and order situation in the state. Rapid action forces have also been stationed in sensitive zones because remember, protests continue in multiple parts of Hyderabad, though they are focused largely around the Shalibanda area. Schools in this area and the old city have been shut. Shops were shut late last evening. Now, most protesters are demanding that stricter action be taken against Raja Singh, that the BJP leader be arrested. However, there are a group that is once again demanding that he be beheaded. That group has been censured. You have had AIMIM leaders say that such strong comments shouldn't be made. However, multiple strong remarks by leaders in these rallies have gone viral since. Now, we're going to share and put a spotlight on that through the rest of the day. My colleague Swastika is with us live right now from Char Minar in Hyderabad. Let's go over to her to understand the entire situation. Swastika, you've been covering the situation in Hyderabad for more than 2 days now. It's Thursday morning. Can you tell us if the situation has at all changed since yesterday?
If you could repeat your question, please.
Swastika, I was just saying you've been bringing our audiences reports from Hyderabad over the last 3 days of the same situation. Today morning, Thursday morning, how is the situation different, if at all?
Right now, at this hour of the day, situation is peaceful, and I dare say that because here you can see this is exactly where the protest had broken out yesterday morning, as well as in the late hours on wee hours of this morning as well. But right now there is life as normal as it can be. However, the shops here in and around, this is really a businessman's hub, and here you can see all the shops here are going to remain shut in protest against Raja Singh. But to give you a quick recap, we have been doing a status check in different areas. Just a short while ago, we were in Char Minar as well, where we saw tight police deployment. Even here right now, there are patrolling vehicles monitoring every now and then, and here you can see that there are about 3 local police officials who have been stationed here, and they have been here since the last 72 hours is what they tell me. But while this looks as normal as it is, in the late hours of last evening and in fact early morning, and we're talking about somewhere between 1 o'clock and 5, I beg your pardon, 4 in the morning, there were massive protests and clashes, incidents of stone pelting being reported from Shalibanda area itself, and leading to a lot of clashes between the police officials, forcing them to lathi charge the protesters. Not just that, nearly 120 protesters were taken into custody. Some of them are still being detained with the police, but right now the allegation that has been leveled against the police by the MIM is that they forcefully barged into the residence of these protesters and allegedly detained them illegally. And these areas in and around, and we are talking about Mughalpura, Shalibanda, Asha Talkies, Yakutpura, these are the areas, Gulzar House, and in and around areas of Char Minar constituency continues to remain volatile. However, just for the benefit of viewers who have been watching our coverage continuously, I would say the situation is much better this morning, considering that there has been a heavy clampdown from the police. Section 144 has not been imposed, but private schools in the area, some petrol pumps in the area are all shut, and majority of the shops here are shut.
Okay, Swastika, do stay with us. I want to walk our audiences through more reactions that have come in. Right before we do that, a piece of context here. Remember, elections are due in Telangana later in this year. The BJP is hoping to make inroads into the state. Look at all of these developments in that context. I want to take you through political reactions. This is what Aam Aadmi Party's Saurabh Bharadwaj in Delhi had to say.
बीजेपी बलून टेस्टिंग करती है। नुपुर शर्मा ने जब बोला, मैं नहीं समझ सकता कि नुपुर शर्मा इतनी बड़ी नेता हैं कि वो अपनी मर्जी से इस तरीके का बयान दे दें, या ये एमएलए इतने बड़े नेता हैं कि अपनी मर्जी से इस तरह का बयान दे दें। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रयोगशाला है। इस तरीके के प्रयोग जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी के केंद्रीय नेतृत्व के कहने पे ही हो रहे हैं। जब से ये केसीआर साहब की वहां पे सरकार आई है, काफी जो है वो फ्लरिश कर रही है। इस तरीके के दंगे फसाद अगर हैदराबाद जैसे शहर में होंगे, तेलंगाना के अंदर होंगे, या सटे हुए आंध्र के अंदर होंगे, इससे पूरे देश का नुकसान है।
Party has suspended him. He was arrested. He was released immediately on bail. What is that going on? BJP will have to explain. And BJP should not call him again a fringe element. He is speaking such atrocious things, creating religious hatred towards a particular minority. And this is very a bad precedent. And law must take its course, whoever may be the person.
The big demand coming in from protesters right now is that Raja Singh be arrested once again. My colleague Anusha Soni spoke yesterday to Raja Singh's lawyer Karna Sagar about the video, the violence and the case in court. Remember, the court argued that the proper procedure of arrest was not followed, which is why Raja Singh was let off in this manner. Listen in to what this lawyer had to say. Take a look.
The argument is that under the set provisions, he was not entitled to bail, and this was a half-hearted attempt by the police authorities.
For anybody who have objection with the video, the courts are open, the police stations are open. They can file a complaint. They can prosecute him in the courts of law. By just coming out of the roads and giving slogans or Juda does not endure me. And further, there are some people with vested interest behind all these perpetrators, behind all these people coming on the road. They are provoking the people to come on the road and make such type of statements. This is not a lawless state. Everybody who have belief in the constitutional process, in the judicial process, are open to approach the police stations, file complaints, and get them prosecuted. But this is not the way to come out on the road. And then court will decide that the alleged video is a tamper video or the original video, or it is the content in the video is an objectionable or not. This is not the people who come on the road will decide that he is the person who has done that.
Congress Neta Feroz Khan has issued an open threat to the MLA Raja Singh, urging that if any Muslim who spots him should slap him or attack him. Furthermore, it has been argued that he is a habitual offender. The MLA Raja Singh is a habitual offender, and the law so far has failed to catch up to him.
All the cases were acquitted against him. The police could not file a proper evidence, could not connect him to the offense, could not secure the scientific evidence before the court. And one more thing. All the people who are calling to hit him, to behead him, the case should be registered against the Congress person who is provoking the people to hit the MLA.